So today I am joined by Kinsey Osborn, a three-time consecutive WMX champion in the ATV AMA Motocross National Championship. She's also had a perfect season in 2023 and 2024. Plus, she's had an incredible 54 moto win streak headed into this season. So, welcome. And what are you up to this week, Kinsey?
Hi, I'm not much this week, just a little bit of riding, getting back into it. My first ride of since Deckers over winter break, my first ride was I think Sunday. And Monday we went to this sand track, this private sand track we got like 20 minutes away. And it was rough, but I mean I need it. I need that really bad, but I'm also riding tonight, so that's exciting. Just trying to get as much seat time as possible, really, before the first round at Etchicani. So, other than that, I'm just at home waiting around, doing some schoolwork, but yeah, it's been good.
And the weather is cooperating for you this week in Ohio because we're having beautiful, like 60, 70-degree days. It's going to be almost 80 tomorrow. So that's perfect for getting out to ride.
Yeah, for sure. I was worried that it was going to be like raining the whole time. I mean, there's some rain I think coming this Saturday and Sunday, but luckily I'm going to get in like 4 rides total from this week before then, so that's great. And I also plan on coming home the weekend before Etchicani to ride as well. So just really excited and just doing the normal like preseason stuff right now. So
Perfect. For those that may not be familiar with the series, can you explain a little bit of the racing format and kind of the track layout for an ATV National?
yeah, so this year especially it's a little bit different than previous years. Normally we have about 10 different rounds at 10 different tracks. And this year we limited down to like 7, so there's a little more time in between to prepare for the next races. So a normal race day looks like, I mean, normally we have about like maybe 35 to 40 different classes each day. And me personally, I race 2 classes. So I have the women's pro class, and then I'm racing against the boys in 450A. But I mean, it's kind of a lot to explain to someone who doesn't know. But basically, people just sign up to race whatever class they want, whether that's according to their age group or like their bike setup. And I mean, yeah, I'm not that good at explaining this kind of stuff. Sorry, but my typical race day, I have my WMX class races both motos on Saturday because it's considered like a pro class or not amateur class. And then my 450A, I have them split one moto on Saturday and one moto on Sunday, which is how most of the classes are.
And you've been racing since you were much younger, but you actually made your WMX pro debut when you were 16. And you even grabbed a podium in your very first race of that class. So, what was that feeling like?
Oh, that was awesome. I was actually when I was on Digging Deep ATVMX podcast the other week, we were talking about it and I was like, man, yeah, like I still remember that first win. It was at Three Palms in Texas. And before that, even my first race in WMX ever at Daytona, I mean, I got second, and that was just like a lot of whirlwind of emotions because I wasn't expecting to do that well in WMX that soon. I mean, my goal going before the season started, my goal was to get like top 3, I think. And once I got that win, like my second time racing the class, it was like, wow, like I can do a lot more than I thought I can. And I mean, that just gave me more momentum for the rest of the season. But that winning that race specifically was a really, really good day for me. Gave me a lot of confidence. Uh, yeah, it was just awesome. Good memories.
Do you still enjoy traveling to all the races because it is so many rounds? It is a lot of travel across the country. Or are you kind of like burn out on the travel aspect of it and just want to teleport to the races?
Yeah, I for sure would love to be able to teleport to the races. I mean, some of the drives for the ones on the schedule this year aren't too bad. I mean, since we're not going to Texas this year, and I think the farthest one is the first one in Georgia. I think it's about like 12 hours. I could be wrong. But it would be nice to just show up there and not have to drive hours to get there, even though I'm not the one driving. I feel bad for my dad, but yeah, I mean, I still love it though. obviously. I mean, I'm still here doing it. And it's nice to hang out with my friends at the track also. It's just, I mean, there's always some stuff to look forward to from the long drive. So it kind of like evens out and makes up for it. So,
You talked about training and preparing kind of preseason, but how do you prepare for a race both mentally and physically? Like what kind of training goes into it and then like what are you doing on race day to really prepare yourself?
yeah, so I'll just dive quickly into like my off-season work. I mean, since I've been in at school and college, I've gotten really into the gym. So in the off season, I've been like weightlifting a lot and still sticking with cardio. I never skip out on the cardio. I did a little bit of riding at Deckers in December for like New Year's, but I don't do a lot of riding in the off season. I'm not one of those guys that just go down to Florida and stay there for months and ride all the time. It just doesn't work out for me. I got other things going on. But my in-season training really looks like riding on the weekends, like every weekend at my track, maybe even some weeknights throughout the summer and not as much weightlifting, just more cardio when I'm not riding. My like training as far as when I'm riding, I typically do about 4 motos each day that I ride, and I try to push like 15 to 20-minute motos each time. So I just
Gotcha.
that's kind of my little routine.
Yeah. And you still enjoy the training aspect, or does it really feel like a chore still?
Sometimes, I mean, right now it doesn't feel much like a chore because I mean, I haven't been doing it that much, but once we get to like July, it's kind of like, okay, like kind of getting sick of this, but like not really. I mean, it just
Yeah.
gets a little repetitive towards the end of the season. My mental side of things, I would say, for preparing for races, I don't really think about it too much. I try not to. I just kind of go in with a clear mind. I don't really have much of a routine there. I don't know. I just like to stay calm. I mean, I still get nervous before races, but I don't know. I just usually listen to some like hype music before I go to the gate, and that's kind of about it. I don't do that much mentally.
Do you have like the same playlist, or you just kind of like find a playlist from somebody else that you think kind of fits the mood?
Well, I only listen to I make my own playlist and only listen to like fast stuff, but usually it's just like whatever song I've been like obsessed with at the time or just been I'm just like that. I'll have like certain songs that I recently add to my playlist and I'll just only listen to those songs on repeat until I like move on to the next.
I'm the same
But
way. I'm the same way for
yeah,
sure. Do you recall one race that really pushed your limits and like how were you able to fight through it?
I would say, I mean, from this past season, I would say any of the A class races, honestly. Same with the year prior when I was in 450B. I would say that was more challenging mentally for me because, I mean, every race it was like a full gate of like C class riders that are in the B class. So it was really frustrating for me. It was a challenge like every round. It really like pushed me mentally and physically. I mean, every race something was happening in that class, so I just didn't know what to do most of the time. It was really challenging for me to overcome that like frustration, I guess, from those guys. But yeah, I would say just not being in control is like the most frustrating part of it. Like if someone just runs into you and clears you out in the first turn, and
Yeah.
I mean, you can't stop those things from happening. You can only control what you can. So, but this past year, racing 450A, it hasn't been that bad. I would say I didn't really, I mean, knock on wood, I didn't crash once this past season, and that was that was like a lot of progress for me compared to the year prior. So.
Yeah. What is your motivation for running in the 450A class with the guys and not just running the women's class? Like, why did you want to do that?
I mean, I got a couple friends in that class, so I like being able to race against them, and like couple times I beat some of them, I just like to like tease them about it. But that's the very like tiny detailed benefit of it. But I love racing against the guys because it's a bigger challenge for me compared to WMX. I mean, no offense to any of those girls. They're all great and they're doing awesome, but it's I have to dig deeper to race against the guys. I mean, mentally and physically, like they're faster, it's a way different atmosphere, and
Hmm.
I think it really pushes me to become better and get better. And it really like I don't know, I can't explain it, but I just really I want to beat them so much more than I want to win WMX. I just think it means a lot more to me to be able to say I did this in the guys, or I got top three in the guys, than to say, oh, I won WMX. I mean, not to downplay it or anything, but I just want to do what no girls have really done and kind of like show that it can be done by a girl, you know?
Absolutely. Can you talk about how your family supports your racing career?
Yeah, of course my dad is super into it. I mean, this has been his whole life. And I feel like if he had to start over, he would. He would do it all over again. I mean, my mom, she's adjusted to it. It's not her favorite thing in the world, but she's still supportive, obviously. She does everything she can. I mean, she's busy with my other sisters and she works full time, so it's kind of difficult for her to come to the races, but she's always watching. She always has my back online. I don't know if you've seen her commenting on Facebook stuff, but she's just like she's always there for me. And my dad, he would do anything for the sport in general, let alone like me and my racing.
Yeah,
My
and growing up in like a
support.
motorcycling family myself, not ATV specifically, but it's cool to get to hang out with your family and like enjoy a passion that you guys all have.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's all me and my dad really talk about is racing. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, my grandparents, they watch every race. They come to what the closer ones, like the ones in Indiana or Pennsylvania. My whole family's just into it, really. I mean, mainly my dad's side, but yeah, the whole family's into it, and I mean, it's great.
And we got to give your dad a shout out too, because part of your 45 moto win streak could be credited to him as well, because your machine's got to be running. You don't want to have any mechanical failures. So it's probably equally a lot of pressure on him, just as much as it is for you to win the races.
Yeah, I mean, about the moto streak, I mean, that's never in the like forefront of my mind. I'm not sure if it's in my dad's. I don't know how nervous my dad gets when I race. I have no idea. But I mean, Cody Jansen, he would always say like, "Oh, he's just nervous watching you race. I mean, he doesn't want the streak to end because of him and like having like a motor failure or something like that." And
Hmm.
I'm just like, "Well, I mean, like if it does, it does. It's not the end of the world. I mean, it's a cool thing to have and to do." But I mean, the streak isn't it's not like I don't need to have that to feel like validated in my racing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how my dad feels about that stuff. I've never really asked him, or I don't know if he gets super nervous or more nervous than I do before a race.
Yeah,
But that'd be something to
I was
ask
gonna
him.
ask you about the pressure of maintaining that win streak, but it sounds like you don't really put that pressure on yourself. It's just something that kind of happened.
Yeah, the streak for sure. I would say I put the most pressure on myself. What I actually get nervous about before race is just the starts. That's what I'm most nervous for because I mean, I'm kind of hit or miss on those. I'm not gonna lie. I just have good starts or I just have terrible ones. So that's something I got to work on, obviously. But I'm mostly on the gate for WMX. I'm most stressed about getting the whole shot because I want that the whole shot award. But
And a little bit of
yeah,
cash that comes with it too,
yeah,
right? That's nice.
yeah.
So when you're not racing, how do you kind of unwind? Are there any favorite hobbies that you have or any activities that you like to do?
Yeah, I would say this past summer, I got really into reading. My friend Ellie Roush, who I raced with, she's not racing this next season, but she put me onto some books and I was reading them. I just got really into reading. I was reading in the trailer like after in between races or like in the morning before like race practice. On the drives there, obviously, long drives, I would just read books. So that was kind of a hobby I picked up this past year. Not doing too much reading right now with school going on, but I do want to get back into it. During the summer though, I do plan on working at another job, a different job than I had last year. I'm still in the works of getting that set up, but my other hobbies are just really I just love tanning outside. Honestly, I love the
Soaking up the
sun.
sun. Yeah.
Yes, that's that reading and tanning would probably be my favorite things in the summer to do.
Yeah.
So.
You mentioned that you're in school, so you're in college now. Can you talk about the degree or kind of the interest that you're pursuing?
Yeah, so I went into school as a business undecided major, which is basically means like I knew what college area I wanted to be in, the College of Business, but I didn't know what specifically I wanted to major in. So, I took all the general like kind of business courses, like the really gen ed business courses. And then I found after like hearing from this one class, they had a bunch of speakers from the different like majors, I guess, come in. And there's a guy who came in to speak on the marketing major and like all the benefits and like all the details about it. And that kind of really pushed me to declare my major in marketing. And I do want to minor in something. I'm not sure yet, maybe like finance or something of that area, but I don't know. I'm not sure entirely what I want to do, like in the long run aspect of things, but I'm really into marketing, like social media marketing, digital marketing, stuff like that, more like online stuff. I don't know. I just want to kind of see how it goes, see where it takes me. Next fall, all the sophomores do this thing in the College of Business at my school that's called like cluster, and it's like a requirement for graduation. So you take like I think four classes at once, and it's mainly like a team-based thing. You're put in teams, and they give you this industry and this product that you have to like improve, and then you like present it to your, I guess, quote unquote, like company or employers. You do a presentation, and then the second half of the semester you're put in a different team, and then this time you have to make a new product and then present again, and it just kind of gives you a lot of experience in that area, I guess. And I don't know, it's just like I said again, I just want to test it out, see how much I like it, especially after doing the cluster. And I am looking to do this study abroad trip. It's called the Global Consulting Program, and basically you can choose like where you want to go. They have them everywhere, really, like anywhere in Europe. There's one in Costa Rica that I'm looking at for 2026. That one's only like a week long. It's a spring break deal. But I think that would be really cool. Basically, what you do on those trips is you go wherever internationally, and then you're there and I mean, you get a little vacation out of it, but you're also like put into teams, kind of like cluster almost, like they have an issue, the certain company or whatever, wherever you are, has an issue, and you work like while you're there to solve it, and you present to them like how you will resolve their issue for them. So I don't know. Those are just some things in the future I want to do, see if I really like where I'm going and where I'm heading. So, sorry, that was kind of long, but
No, I mean, I'm in marketing and journalism myself, and so I love those things, and I was able to combine it with a passion of mine, which was motorsports. So there's always that possibility, or if you have another interest, marketing is really versatile. So I feel like that's a really good thing to major in.
yeah, for sure. And that's like whenever people ask me, they're like, "Well, what are you going to do with it?" I'm like, "Well, there's so many options. Like
There
there's a
are.
lot of it's a really broad major, which is a good thing at the same time because I mean, you can always switch what you're doing and tweak little things and just
Hmm.
find your niche, I guess. So,
Yeah, absolutely. So, kind of going back to racing, as a female racer, do you have a message for the younger girls that are just coming up through the ATV racing world?
yeah, for sure. I would tell them that this is actually something that I've been saying to myself a lot recently is just like, if it was easy, everyone would do it. And that really pushes me. I mean, when I'm training, whether I'm just working out, riding, anything, I'm just like if I at the sand track the other day, I was like, man, this is hard. Like, I really honestly didn't want to be there. It was my second day back, so my back was super sore. Everything was sore. I was hurting, and it was a rough track. And I was just like, I just kept reminding myself, I'm like, okay, well, if it was easy, everyone would do it. And I mean, not everyone's gonna be out here doing the things that I'm doing. And same with anyone else's kind of training. It's like you just got to push yourself. And I mean, the hard work does pay off. It's not going to be immediate results, but you do get the benefit out of the work you put in. And I mean, just to keep pushing and you'll see the results you want. And also for the younger girls, I mean, I don't know if they know who I am, watch like what I do, but I mean, they can see that I'm beating boys and I just want them to know that they can do it too. Like if I can do it, they can do it. And just to never really give up on those dreams, no matter how big or small they are. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of great motivation. And I love that kind of mantra that you have that if it was easy, then everybody would do it, right? Did I get that
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, that's super cool that you keep that in mind. And then
Yeah.
kind of looking forward, what's next for you? Kind of what are your next big goals?
For this season, I'm racing 450A again, WMX again. My goals, I would say, in WMX are to, I mean, I guess keeping the streak alive could be one of them, but mainly just getting those whole shots. I mean, really improving my starts. And I mean, I know there's some new riders coming into WMX, and one of them is international rider, I think. So there's a lot of hype around her. So I would say just sticking to my normal stuff, winning races, winning motos, staying consistent on the bike. I would say WMX, I focus more on limiting my mistakes and riding smooth compared to like pushing the pace like I do in the boys class. But so WMX, obviously, I want to get another championship, and in 450A, I want top three this year. I was just shy of top five. Me and like two other guys were like a couple points away from each other to get like fifth place. So I just missed that goal last year because my goal was top five. I missed that by like a few points. So this year I definitely want top three in A class. It's gonna be hard, but I mean, like I like a good challenge. I'm up for it. But yeah, other than that, just try to push and get faster. That's always the goal. So
Awesome. And then kind of the last thing is where can people follow your journey or connect with you or stay updated on your racing progress?
yeah, for sure. I mean, I have two accounts. I have one on Instagram. I have one on Facebook. I think they're the same username. It's Kinsey Osborn 130. I'm pretty sure those are my racing pages. My dad mainly runs those. I don't really ever post on. I mean, I obviously look at stuff on there. I just don't make the post myself.
Well, as a
But
marketing person, you might have to get more into that now.
yeah, I know. I don't know. I'm just lazy when it comes to that stuff. But obviously, I mean, if you looked at my post, you can tell it's not really me. If you know me, it's not me. It doesn't sound like me. It's just my dad talking. But yeah, you can find me. I think it's just Kinsey Osborn 130 on Instagram and Facebook.
Thanks so much for joining me today to kind of talk about your racing career and what you've got coming up next. So, best of luck this season.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.